everybody, welcome to the stream. I'm smSithLord, and this is the bi-weekly Somnium Space build stream. Today I'm going to be working on something that I started on Friday. Today is Monday. We're going to be finishing up this cool world here. Now, if we want this to run on mobile, we'd have to scale it back a little bit. I'm using lots and lots of shader layers and real-time lighting. The resolution of these things is actually pretty good and low, but all the transparency that I have going on and all the different material layers that I have on a few things, it makes this thing not run the best. It runs on my phone. I have a really good phone though. It runs on this phone. But it probably wouldn't run on a crappy phone. So if I'm optimizing down to run on a phone, there would be an optimization day coming where I would strip out a lot of the material layers and I would make this not look as cool. And the trick is to do this without making it look like crap. Anybody can make a scene that looks awesome if they're not worried about performance and stuff like that. Not anybody. I mean, it's still an accomplishment and people should be happy no matter what they build, as long as they finish something. But it's easier to make things that look good if you throw a bunch of shaders at it and stuff like that. The trick is to make something that runs well and looks good at the same time. Then you're not just an artist, you're a technical artist. I did a little bit of technical artistry here, merging things together. It's pretty damn good. I lowered the resolution on a lot of stuff. It's 512 mostly all around. But there's still a lot of other things that I can do that I'm probably not going to do. So we're going to be targeting web, but not so much targeting mobile. But we're not going to go crazy just not optimizing things. We're still going to optimize things. But I just don't want to remove too many material layers because the reflection of the sky on the glass looks great. And all the different material layers on that rock down there. It's got a normal map. It's got an emissive map. It's got a diffuse. If I was trying to optimize, I'd go in there and I'd strip out everything but the emission map. I didn't even mention the emission map. It's got an emission map too. I would remove everything but the emission map because that would take 4 material layers down to 1. So those kind of things, they wouldn't look as good. It would look all right, but it wouldn't look as good. And I'd be like, well, you only see it through the glass right now anyways, so it's okay, you won't notice. Now, if I had other rocks floating around, you would notice. And I'm going to make some other rocks today. So, let me check my messages here real quick. Okay. There's a couple things I want to do today. It's not optimization step day today. By the way, anybody can come check this out right now. It's on parcel number 1671. Let me show you how cool this looks when I go into photo mode and turn on some bloom and stuff. Look at that. Now, I see the text through objects. That's only when I'm in photo mode. I think it's only when I have a certain shader on too. Yeah, it's only when I have any post-processing effect on it does that to me. But that's okay. I just need to make sure, since it only happens to be in photo mode, I just got to be sure that I have cool places to take photos from that aren't wrecked by the text appearing through it. Or I could change the text to be on textures instead of text in the editor. Well, let's see what the text looks like. Let's get to it. Here I'm in the exact same scene in the Web World SDK, sitting in here in the Play Canvas editor that runs right in your web browser, by the way. Theoretically, you could do this from inside Somnium Desktop in VR. You could have this loaded up on a web browser object inside the desktop client. building your web world, and you can load Somnium Web inside of that browser too, so you can do the whole deal. Like go to your parcel and assign the web world you just made. Everything that I'm doing today, you might be able to do from inside of Somnium, which is a little bit of Inception, actually. But I digress. I came in here to check out my text. On my text, what layers do I have these on? I have them on the UI layer. I'm going to put them in the world layer. And maybe just putting these things in the world layer will be enough to fix my problem of while I'm in photo mode, they appear through walls. Maybe it won't be enough. Maybe it will be enough. We'll see. But I put them all onto the world layer. Cool, cool. Next up is I want to plug these things in to be actual clickable portals. And I want to make another model. I want to add yet more transparency to this thing. I was just saying that if I was trying to optimize down to phones, while it runs all right on a good phone right now, I might even wreck that if I keep adding more transparency things. So you should never put optimization off until the end. But let's go ahead and put optimization off until the end. At least for some things. I did lower all the resolution down already. These are 512 textures and things like that. But when it comes to optimization, like reducing the material layers and things like that, I already did the draw calls. But when it comes to reducing the material layers, let's put that off for now. And we're going to make these kind of mystic wave aura coming out of the screens. So we're going to be doing another 3D model in 3ds Max, making a new material. Like last time, throwing that material on the model, UV mapping the model a certain way so it looks awesome, and then adding with the new material sliding thing in Somnium Web Worlds, we're gonna make the portal's texture slide out, and we're gonna do all of this with no scripting, by the way. That's the whole point of using the prefab in the Somnium Web Worlds SDK. I just tell it which material, and it does it. I don't have to write any code. But yeah, we're going to have portals coming out from here and maybe a UI element in there. We need to add some glowing, yet another material, if I don't already have glowing material, to stick in the side of these pillars to make them not look so bland. And the same glow. Now I'm going into the optimization stuff. The same glow material that I stick into here, I'm going to use that glow in other places. What other places? I don't know. In fact, I'm not entirely sure I will. Well, it seems... Yeah, I'm not entirely sure I will even do any of that at all. Okay, and the other thing is I want to make floating rocks floating around. So, like asteroids floating around in space, spinning. I think I'm going to start there, and that's going to require 3ds Max. Let me plug in my 3D mouse, which is awesome. I'll tell you about it in a second after you hear the bloop bloop that my OS makes when I plug this in. I am monitoring a couple chats right now. Currently, I'm in the Twitch chat. I'm going to jump into the YouTube chat. Also, if you're watching somewhere else, like LinkedIn or Twitter or something like that, welcome. I won't be able to pick up on the chat from everywhere, but I will be lurking these two places. Once I find them, and then I'm going to get back to clicking. Actually, I heard the bloop. I'm ready to launch into 3ds Max. I would hold up that really cool 3D mouse, but the cord isn't long enough. So like phones before they could take pictures, I'm going to have to just describe it to you. It's a little... it's a little knob. There you go. It's a little knob, and I could pull on it or push it down. I could twist it. I could move it side to side. I could lean it. It's got 6 degrees of motion. And because of that, I'm able to control something really, really well. Now, there's various ways to use it. Let's check in my stream quality here. My stream quality was cutting out for a second, but I think we're back. We're good. All right. So because of that, you can use it to move objects around, but actually my left hand, my webcam might be mirrored here, my left hand goes on the 3D mouse to control the camera and stuff like this. You can kind of see what I'm doing. I'll see better in a second as I load up the scene. My right hand is on the regular mouse. I have no hand on the keyboard. Let's load up Teleportation Station. Okay, so here is the environment. It's pretty low poly, as we can see here. The real problem is all the materials that I use after it gets in world, but that's okay. There's two different objects. Yeah, now the other thing I wanted to add was the floating rocks. Let's add some floating rocks. Now I do not want to introduce a new material, so I'm going to use the existing material. I'm going to use this material. I have that somewhere. Look at all those material layers. That's not what we're going to end up with when I do get it into the engines, into the Web Worlds SDK. Because while I said that I used too many material layers, I don't use all of them. I didn't go nuts, but I just didn't optimize down far enough. So I use like 4 in there, not like 8 over here. But I'm going to use this material, all 8 of them in here, as I make an asteroid. Let's make an asteroid. We're going to do something pretty cool here. We're going to use tessellation and Boolean, and that's about it. So here, we're going to make a cube here. Let's get some lighting over here, because I can't see what I'm doing. Yeah. I could just switch to a viewport that has ambient lighting, but instead I'll just do this. Okay, so we got this cube over here, and I'm going to say that I'm going to use real-world mapping coordinates on this thing. And the reason I say to use real-world mapping coordinates is because then I can resize this thing without it squashing and stretching the texture. Ooh, cool. It took me a while to figure that out. Okay, but I actually want to stretch the texture. Go figure. So I'm going to put everything, I'm going to make a 1 meter box, and then I'm going to stretch this thing to be bigger. I don't even really care specifically how big. I just want it to look good while it's far away. There's something called a texel. Texel? Yeah, it's texel. It's the size that a pixel represents, or that a texture space UV pixel represents on the screen when it's rendered at render time. And you don't want to have more resolution in your textures than are used on the actual screen for the texel. And to avoid that case, you need to make sure that you're using not as detailed textures, or textures that are scaled up on objects that are far away from the camera. I'm making asteroids that are going to be far away from the camera, so I scaled up the texture. Now, usually you'd want to use a different texture instead of just scaling textures, but this is actually going to work out really well for me, so I'm not going to question it. Okay, we're going to have a big asteroid floating out there. This is how we're going to make it. We're going to give it a few different cubes. We'll start with this one here, and then we'll clone this down here. And instead of squashing it now, because I want every surface of this asteroid to be the same texture resolution, now, I'm not going to scale it anymore. Now I'm just going to use this kind of stuff, because this doesn't change the texture scale. It just, moves it around. Okay, looking good. We'll do some of this, and we'll do one more little chunk out of here to make this thing look interesting as it spins. Like this. It'll just shrink that down. Yeah, just go up like that. And this will be like a little more out of this. I think that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do nicely. Okay, so let's get good. I'm going to save this. I'm going to select this thing over here, and I'm going to say, well, let's try some things. Maybe I'm going to fail the first few times. Hopefully not. Hopefully I've failed enough in the past that I'm just going to get it right. So we're going to start picking union, and we're going to get these things. Now we're all booleaned up in one object. Let me do that with wireframe on so you can see the epicness. We'll do that again in slow motion, zoomed in for everybody. You see how there's all kinds of faces intersecting here? Okay, but now look what happens after I boolean them. Now we have no more interior surfaces. It is a nice, it's a nice exterior shell. It's a hole. It's no longer a bunch of polygons intersecting. This is like a collision hole. It's a physics hole there. Hole breach. We got 0 hole breaches. All right, now let's make this thing look cooler. We're done booleaning things together. Boolean was a math dude, but that's a whole different subject. Let's not get off into that. Now we're going to go to tessellate this thing. We're getting there. Adjust the tension. It is wrecking my UV mapping a little, isn't it? Down there it is. Okay. All right, this is going to be our weird asteroid. I don't like how it turned out, though. Let's add another block to it. I just Control-Z'd a whole bunch before I turn things into Pro Boolean. I should make, and it's because I wanted to have another block over here that was the correct scale. So I should just leave this guy over here for now. This is my backup block over there. And the reason I did this was because I didn't like the hole in my hull that was appearing after I was doing the tessellation. So let's fix that. We'll fix that by popping that out some here so it doesn't happen. Like this. I think we want a little more of these up here. Like this. So adding a little bit more detail so my tessellation works out more like the way that I want it to. Okay, let's do it. Boolean. Oh no, it's not a modifier, it's over here. We're gonna start picking, we're gonna union these things together. Is that it? I believe that's it. Nope. No, that's it. Okay. Good. Now we're going to tessellate this thing. I fixed that hole. These other holes, I don't know. Could be better, but we're getting pretty good here. All right, now let's see if we can fix this thing. Well, let's see if we can fix it by adding a retopologize. Retopology? Retopology. We'll target 800 triangles. It's either going to crash the entire app or it's going to work a little bit. Okay, that worked a little bit. Oh, 400. How is that more? It's supposed to be less. This is looking alright. There's probably easier ways to do this. I did not go about the best way to do this. There's easier ways. But this is a way. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. I forgot to change the thing. See how clean that looks? That looks much cleaner. We got our weird shape. There we go. That's all we needed to do right there. But it doesn't have my material on it. So I could either try to project from the higher detail one onto this, or I could be like, hey, I got the shape that I want. Let's just apply a UV unwrap on this thing. No, I'm not unwrap. A UV map, and we're going to use real world mapping, and we're going to be a sphere. Look how well that looks, right? And now I'll just change the gizmo. No, I'll change the tiling. No, I need to change the gizmo. I'll change the gizmo. And it has no effect because I'm using real world tiling. I don't want to use real world. Okay, this looks pretty good. Maybe tile it a couple more times. Okay, I'm going to move this thing off to the side, and I think that we have an asteroid. We have an asteroid. How are we going to animate these asteroids? There's a couple ways that we can do it. Now, I'm only going to make one asteroid, I think, and I'm going to instance it all over the scene. Actually, just a couple times. And instance it a couple times. And all I want to do is like spin around. I also want that rocket ship to move around. So, that rocket ship is positioned over here. I don't know if that rocket ship should spin around. Let's just add these asteroids in there, just rotating in place instead of moving around on a path. So that might get a little weird. And half the time you wouldn't even see the shuttle if it's flying around. It's kind of better if it's always there. It's frozen in time. Now the asteroids will be kind of frozen in time to go spin. Okay, we got a plan. Let's make it happen. First of all, this is not good. I need some contrast here. Come on. Where's my contrast? I don't know. I won't question it. The rock will be as the rock is. I do want to center its rotation around its origin. Center to object. Now, when it spins, it'll spin from its center of mass. We're looking good. Now, how am I going to animate this? I can animate it with a key for one animation per rock. I can animate it with one animation per rock. Is that what I want to do? Then I would position the rocks inside of the editor. I'm going to do that. That'll be easier. I like using the editor there. I'm to that point in this scene here because I'm almost done with this scene. I'm going to be done with this scene today. So I'm not going to worry about, oh, I want to make everything this in 3ds Max so I could just export new version, new version, new version. I don't care because I'm not going to have to export more versions. It's almost done. So the flames I just did in here at the origin of the scene, I'll just do this rock over here at the origin of the scene. But move this to the scene. The rock is going to be animated. Here's how the rock will be animated. And I'm not going to go into the dope sheet to change the blending so it seamlessly loops either. So don't get your hopes up. But we're going to go and we're going to make the length of the animation 400. And when I press play, nothing moves. But soon, I bet that I could just animate this individual thing and export it. I don't know. I'm going to find out real quick. So we're going to animate. I'm trying to avoid adding a bone, and it might work. Sometimes it works. Let me think here. Scratch that. I'm going to animate a bone. I just convinced myself because it's better, it's cleaner. Let's go over here to the systems and just make a bone. You know what trips me out is I always make my bones weird. I'm going to try to make a flat, like a unit bone. There's one bone that has no properties. I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to mess it up. Look, I have to give it a direction. I don't want to give it a direction. I don't want to give it a length. Just give me a bone. That's the and no matter what I do here, it's not really changing any properties of the bone. I don't understand it. And then it gives me the extra bone, and I delete the extra bone. What is happening? Whatever. I won't question it. I have a bone. Let's zero out my bone, which is at this weird arbitrary length of some sort. Maybe if I go to local, I'll see. No, local. Everything's 100% there. How about my world rotation? How's my world rotation looking? Everything is basically zeroed out. Yep. Okay, well, I'm good enough. So we're gonna snap this to my center origin is where it's gonna end up at. Well, that's a huge bone. That is a huge bone, but that's okay. It's okay. Good size. Oh, am I changing? What is this? I don't know. What are these measures? Generate mapping coordinates on a bone? Okay, I know enough about bones to do what I'm about to do. And that is... I just realized that... Hang on! Getting sidetracked here. I should actually export the fire, the rock, oops, and the scene all in one FBX, so it's only one server request. So getting back to optimization, and I'm gonna do that. Optimize, people. Okay, first we're gonna animate this thing. Let's be artists for a second. This is gonna be 400 long. It's gonna be a rotating thing. Method acting. Let's be an asteroid. How are we when we are an asteroid? I'm going to manually set these keys instead of auto keying. You don't know what that is? That's wonderful. I'm so excited for you. You get to learn what keyframing is. Not right now though, because I'm using 3ds Max. You might be using Cinema 4D or Maya or Blender or something else. So I don't want to go too in depth about what I'm doing here in this tool, because everybody uses a different tool when it comes to 3D modeling. This tool, everybody would have in common. So I'm going to be, when I use this one, I'll get more into detail about what I'm doing, like how I'm doing things. I'll get into detail about what I'm doing over here. Now I'm animating this thing, and we're going to rotate it local style to be just one here, there, and then when we get to 200, we'll change some. We'll do like this. This might be way too fast. We'll find out. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay. Didn't it look wonderful? No, we don't know what the hell's going on. I can kind of see it. It looks good. But... oh man, I'm digging myself a hole here about how I'm going to be exporting this. If I start adding bones, then everything needs to be weighted to a bone. What if nothing's weighted to a bone? Okay, anyways. I said I wasn't going to go into the dope sheet. I'm going into the dope sheet because the way that it ended there, I just can't live with that. It needs to be smooth. So we gotta change the in and out blending of this thing. So, where is this? Object. Bone transform. I don't see my keyframes. the dope show. Scale keys. How much you show me? Zoom region. No. Zoom. How much you? There we go. Position. Rotation. I don't see my curve here. Why? I've not zoomed in or something. I don't see my values. Oh, there we go. I was too high. I was too high. Okay, now let me remember what I'm doing in the dope sheet here. We got this thing moving and we want to change its curve. So let's change its curve from ease in and ease out to... No, let's just simply simplify curve. Oh, there's like one button that I need to click to do this, but I don't remember what it is. I don't want to figure it out. I don't really remember right now, and I'll probably have to Google or ask GDP or something to remind me. Let's see how it ends here. I don't think I may have not changed anything at all. Yeah, it's easing in and out of every single keyframe, so I'd want to change the easing across the board. And to change the easing across the board, it's supposed to be really easy. Set tangents to linear. That sounds about right. There we go. There we go. Watch. It's gonna work, I'm telling you. I know what I'm doing. Ignore all the evidence to the contrary of me having to click around and ask myself what the hell's going on. But check it out. Now, that frickin' bone is gonna use linear, constant motion, no easing. It's still gonna look a little weird and change directions. It's not gonna have momentum. But it's going to loop perfectly. There we go. Now this is probably not as good as it was a minute ago. It's probably not as good as it was a minute ago. This slows down. I don't want it to slow down here. So I think just right here, I'll set the tangent to... No, I want it to ease in and out there too, don't I? They're already on auto. No, don't do that. We're going to too fast, too slow, too stepped. So, no, it's not gonna. Yeah, we were fine. This is the best we're gonna get here. The auto thing. That's the best I'm gonna get because momentum. It's like my asteroid. I'm gonna want to have momentum, but let's not do momentum. My goodness, momentum would be difficult. This one at least eases. There'll be weird asteroids, but I've already spent more time than I should on this asteroid spinning. Let's export this stuff. I'm going to export. I can't just export the bone. Sure I can. I just got to select it first. Export selected. Okay. We'll just throw it on the desktop. We'll call it rock bone. Bone. We're going to not embed media, but we are going to do animation. And we're going to bake the animation. 1 to 400. Okay, we're good. Now, here's the tool that I want to be talking about. And here. I'm going to upload Rockbone. And I'm going to export this rock here. I'm going to export this rock and this and this and this all as one thing. So, yeah. Teleportation station. And we are not going to do animation or media. Now here's why I did that. It was the thing I mentioned earlier about one server request to download everything. Teleportation station, drag and drop it in here. It's going to update what I have in there, and we're going to see weird fire in the middle of the thing, and that kind of stuff happening. And it's like, well, what? Why? Well, here's why. Let's take this fire and replace the other fire. Copy this thing. And this fire. And replace this one with that. I will have to adjust the scale. That's okay. We're going to use flames on this one. Means that on this fire, we'll also want to use flames. Okay, now we're talking. All right. Now we're going to get the fire, instead of the fire being its own request to the web server, like, hey, you know, a request is asking the web server, hey, I need this file, can you send it to me? And then it establishes that connection and then it sends it to you. We're targeting not exactly mobile, but like I said, we're doing some optimization, not just doing no optimization. So here's what some optimization looks like. I'm making this thing, the fire and the asteroid and the what's on the pedestal, the actual environment there, all get transferred in one server request instead of one each. There we go. See, this thing got its fire back. It's none the wiser. It uses the same material, so I don't have to adjust what material is scrolling. I could delete that. This thing now. Copy this and paste it outside of it somewhere. That's a little bit too big. Oh, I forgot the theory missive. This is going to look nice. good. And I probably didn't need to size it down because I'm going to be moving it away. Maybe I'll put a couple close also. Now, here comes the fun. Where is the rock bone? There's the rock bone. Let's add an animation to this thing. First over here, we'll say new animation state graph, and we'll call this graph rock spin. Then over here on the rock, which is just called box 1, I'm going to add something new. It's going to be called... No. It's over here. It's called animation. Animation state graph is the one that I just created called rock spin. That lets me set an animation, which will be this animation. And now it will just play. It should just play. Let's find out. Over here. So when you're launching from the play canvas editor here, let me change my face. Let's go in plain old face. I don't have any Santa faces. I could go the mustache, bald face. Wow, that is I'm like a firefighter. That is a big mustache. What else do I got here? I go in mind's eye. The Pixar looking dude. Or something like this. I'm just gonna go back to the skeleton face. I like this one. This is a good one. Okay. Yeah, so let's look at the rock. There's the rock. And look, it's spinning. It's spinning so slow. I'm really happy. I don't think it's spinning at all. Wait a second. I don't think it is spinning at all. It's not spinning. That texture scrolls. These are going to be really weird looking asteroids. They might look better if they don't scroll. Let me test that out here. No scroll. Oh, I can't change them to it. I can. And over here, I would not want it to be missive, actually. I'm going to put that on here, and I'm going to turn that off. Some color would be on. Yeah. Played around with my emissive here a little bit. Took the right mix of emissive and not emissive. Okay. I might just want full-on emissive. But not scrolling because I want them to rotate, and not full-on emissive. This is going to be hard to find the balance that I like here. We'll go half emissive. It's not spinning, so what gives? This thing was supposed to do rock spin. Oh. I know what happened. I needed to spawn this thing. I'll put it in there, and then I'll break it out of there. I'll put this into there. But not just any in there, I'll put it in there. Now there's our bone, there's this thing, and there's that, and there's that. And so this is what's going to get the animation. Alright. And then we're going to take one. Oh no, we're going to do the easiest animation state graph on demand. animation state graph. And then the animation, okay. So I had my animation assigned to the wrong thing there. Now it's fixed, and it should just work. And there it goes. And my, is it spinning really nice and randomly. Let me do two things. Let's make the speed not so fast. I forgot that I could do that. I could do that way slower. That's really, really good. Okay. In addition to doing that way slower, let's scroll the texture. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like when it has the scrolling material on it. It looks alright, but the fear is... Maybe you should spin faster. That you won't be able to tell what's going on because there's so much motion happening on it. Yeah, that may be the winner right there. And here's the cool thing. I'm going to be able to make little clones of this in a minute. That's a little too close. Maybe one over here. I don't see it. Refresh. I still don't see it. Whoa. Oh! I know why that's happening. That's interesting. Interesting and wrong. I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go with it. I ended up using the same material, not this no scroll one, so I'll delete that no scroll one to reduce my... actually, I think that wouldn't reduce anything, but took that one away. That texture is actually scrolling on all these rocks floating around, which is weird. It's all good. We got that rocket blasting off over there. I wanted to add some blue glow to these things and make the portals actually work. And then republish this thing. I'm about an hour in. We could do these things. Oh, and then the collisions. Let's do the collisions. And of course, I want to add SithLord standing on the boat. By SithLord, I mean Jarek. And by Jarek, I mean a particular version of Jarek that I already have rigged up in one of the web worlds that I made not too long ago called Theater. Yeah, so let's not go as heavy as this one. This one is a heavy world. There's lots and lots of stuff in it. So, as I say, let's not go as heavy as this. I'm about to copy some stuff out of it and move it into ours. This is Old Man Idol. I can dig it. Copy that. And then paste it into here. Hopefully it all goes into the folder like it should. Hopefully. Then I just need to spawn Old Man Idol. There I am. My guy comes from the land of inches. I need to convert him to the land of feet. So I'm going to search for inch to meter ratio. I'm sorry, not ratio. Inches to meters, not to feet. So I want from 1 inch to 1 meter is like that. But that's not what I want. I want from 1 like this. Okay, there's my conversion factor. And if I go, wait, whoa, what is this? Oh no. Oh no, what's going on now? Maybe this is the number that I need. Nope. Here, you know what? I was the correct scale here. What scale was I here? Well, there you have it. Might have been a little small even. Alright, I'm going to make myself a little bigger. Get big. Spin me around. Don't know why my guy looks like he's leaning forward. Now I'm putting this here so people don't try to walk onto the ship. That's the technical, functional reason why I'm putting SithLord here. So it's like, hey, this is my ship. Don't try to walk up here, because after I add the collisions, you ain't going to be allowed to. Let's refresh and see how it looks. It's not animated. This guy's not animated. He's supposed to be a real character, and he's not moving at all. Hey, there he goes. Okay, let's put him down some so he's not floating up high. Hey, get off my boat. Alright, collisions. I need to put collisions on here. I could do that from here. collisions. These will be my wonderful collisions. And then that's all the collisions I care to do. I could get more in depth with collisions, and I probably should, but we're on a time limit here, fellas, and we're already an hour, 4 minutes into it. So let's start thinking about exporting this thing. This one I want to invert the normals of. But then I want it to include, hopefully this works out for me. I want it to include these. That one, and 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 that one. And one more thing. Scratch metal. We want I'm blocking this too. Yes, sir. Okay, and I also want to try to include that into here, and let's see how this turns out. Effect pivot only. Let's move this thing to the center of the world, and file export selected as teleportation station coal. Let's see if this collision mesh can do what we want, baby. So we're in a physics and a rigid body. We're going to use a mesh for the collisions. It's going to be static rigid body. But this mesh, it could be... Oh, wait a second. Yeah, it should be. Included with everything else that we exported. Don't even know it's going to work. But I'm going to go through the pains of this, just in case it does. And that should be everything, right? That's everything. File export. Selected teleportation station. Okay, so I got rid of needing a new FBX, so I just update this one. And relax as it does its thing. Cool, that didn't break all my other stuff. Awesome, awesome. And then this thing, cylinder 011, I'm deleting that. But I'm going to use it over here on this very object where it says mesh. I'm going to go into teleportation station and use cylinder 011 for my asset. Why is it not correct? I might know why, but I won't even worry about why. Let's make a new thing here, and I'll call this thing I'll call it late for dinner. Because I'm dropping it in the teleportation station. It's called coal. And now I'm going to I'm going to remove the things here. And to here I'm going to add there we go. Physics yada. Then go to mesh. Give it my cylinder 11 there. But now I can rotate it like so. For some reason it wanted that rotated but not the other thing. Huh? Oh well, I won't think about it. Now, if it uses the normals the way that I hope it uses the normals, this should all work out perfect. So let's try it out. Hit the refresh button here. I should have wonderful collisions in all directions. Impossible to run off of this thing. It's not impossible. It kind of depends on my frame rate. I can't get onto that ladder. I can kind of step into the ground there, but I can't disappear through anywhere. This is wonderful. This is what I wanted. I could be more detailed, but I don't need to be. This is a wonderful collision mesh that I have here. And in Somnium, I'll be able to teleport to stand on top of those things in a little weird way. But other than that, this is it, baby. And we're wrapping things up here. Next up is making the portals here have some kind of glowing effect on them. Or just putting the button there that says click here to travel. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the button next to these. Oh, I need to put something over here, don't I? I don't have anything over here. What's going to go over there? I got to get a new screenshot and everything. Well, let's try it. Let's go to Somnium. I don't know. I just got to go to any parcel. Sorry, get this explore button, and we'll see where I'm going from there. puzzle. Wait a second. I don't have movie theater on here. Let's make movie theater one of these worlds. Yeah. That's the world that I'm in. Cool. So I'll just go over here and take a screenshot. One moment here. Okay. Catching up on my DMs there for a second. But let's not get sidetracked. I was going to take a screenshot of this awesome world. Photo mode. I got one there. Okay. That's going to be theater. Now, how big of a resolution are these other textures that I'm using, I wonder? This texture is full resolution. Great Scott. Oh, we got some optimization left to do here. Jeez. Louise. Okay, so let's do some optimization here then. We want these to be preserved aspect ratio with the width down to 512. That's more like it. That's more like it. This is parcel theater. Save. I'm going to do the same kind of thing to these. That one. That one. Let's re-upload these to be the nice new smaller ones that I just made and have parcel theater in them. Looking good. And now I believe it's the origin door. Oh, yes. Good Lord. Movie theater. Already on the world. Hopefully that helps with the post-processing. I'm not exactly sure that it will, though. Might have to come back and rethink those things a little. But the movie theater needs a screenshot. Which uses the theater. Okay, there's one more material. Theater copy. Theater copy we use. And that. I just need to assign it to it. Here we go. We got our final door plugged in. Things are coming together. I can dig it and optimize some of those ridiculously oversized textures. This is such a cool world. I'm gonna have to figure out the linking of where all the parcels live in a minute. But we're looking good here right now. Okay, the other thing is that minute has already arrived. It's already upon us. Time to plug these things in so they're clickable and actually take you places. Let me think. What object am I going to put in here to represent the clickableness of these things? How about the word portal? Is putting the word portal there not sufficient? If I put the word portal, this little thing that pops up says portal. Word portal. Let me think about that. The word portal. Maybe I don't need anything. Maybe you just walk up and you click on them and that's that. Let's go with that. We're going to go with invisible clickable objects. Now, here's a chance to show how to make invisible clickable objects. Easy peasy. We'll start here. I'm going to insert an entity, and this is going to be my clickable. I'll just call it clickable. This is my clickable. Ugh. Oh, okay. It's not so bad. There's my clickable. Now I'm going to add physics collision to it. Like so and like so. but not so much like so. Okay. Whip forward to make sure it's not hidden behind the other collider that's behind it. And now we're going to assign a script to it, and it's going to be one of the prefab scripts. Those live inside of Web Worlds assets. Here they are right here. And this, oh, actually, I don't need to actually go there to do it. That's right. I just go search scripts for _som. It showed it right there. And we're looking for web browser. Okay. The web browser URL. This is supposed to take me to the nightclub. I don't remember what number parcel this is, but maybe my textures remember. Do you remember textures? Sure they do. That's parcel number 4730. Okay. somniumspace.com/parcel/4730. This is the parcel that I'm trying to tie together. Yeah, that's it. So that's in there. That's good. Resolution doesn't matter because this is going to be, it's going to not have a screen. Autoplay doesn't apply. UI text is going to be visit nightclub. I'll just call it nightclub. Nightclub. The thumbnail image that it's going to use is going to be the same one that it shows as a texture, which was another reason why it was important for me to resize those images down to sane resolutions because I'm going to be using them multiple times. The go button I don't want a new tab button or an in-world button. In-world button wouldn't show up anyways because I don't have, this is going to be, I use my own collision thing here. But the button new tab, it wouldn't be there anyways because I'm linking to, I don't know, maybe it would be. It doesn't matter though. I got the go button there and I can go there. Now I'm just thinking, do I want the go button or, yeah, I think that's fine. That's fine. Okay. You're just going to go there. How do you get back to this world, though? Well, I don't know, but I don't want to have a bunch of different worlds open in different tabs. So I'm not going to just have the option on there to open a new tab because I don't want that to happen. People are going to have to figure out how to get back. I don't want to open a bunch of crap on their computer. That'll make their computer go slow. So we're going to copy this thing, and then I'm going to paste it in one of these other doors. There we go. Now I just need to update this to be the 3D store. For real, for real. It's already gonna look like 3D store. Do I call it 3D? Yeah, 3D store. Nightclub, this is 3D store. What parcel number is the 3D store on? I don't remember. See if we can remember. I know somewhere on my Twitter I tweeted out the parcel number if I can't find it on here. This one I want to put here, it might not have been popular enough to make this list. Oh no, there it is, 2701. Bingo. 2700. Oh, it said it in the number too. Should have known. Okay. One of these worlds isn't even on a parcel. The art gallery world is not on a parcel. That one runs the best out of them all. I should change the art gallery to be music auditorium. Music hall. I should change that to be music hall because music hall is on a parcel. What do you think here? Or not. Let's see. Let's go to the Somnium Space Web Worlds Medium article. And we're going to find out where this should go. What are the? Let's link to one of the demo worlds. Okay, there's the showroom, the auditorium, the cityscape. That's ones. Oh, the islands too. There's some cool ones to choose from. Wow, this is a huge world. But it's dang cool, and I can't believe there's no screenshot on this. I'm gonna take the screenshot right now. That water looks all right, man. It's not animated, so, but it does. It looks very all right. The water looks very all right. It's all right. And what parcel number is this? This is parcel number. There's some other cool ones that maybe I want to link to instead. Oh yeah, I forgot to upload this picture. Oh, let's try this again. Try this again. Save and upload. So it shows up on the discovery list with the correct one. Okay, close that out. Next one we're dropping into is this one. This one should be the one that I link to. Because it's amazing. Look at the dinos. Look at the dinos. And there's so many dinos here. Let's get a shot of those front dinos though. Okay, I think I got the screenshot there of that one. And that's the screenshot I'm actually going to use, and this is parcel number 361. It was parcel number 361, but I actually want to name it 2701B. But I gotta remember its real number, which was 361. 361. Now when I upload it, it'll automatically pop in and replace all that stuff. But now I need to go and copy my clickable out of there. I'm going to be putting it into these doors. But hopefully I remember it was 361. Hopefully I remembered that correctly. We'll be using that. Okay, everything's looking good so far. Oh wait, I need to change this to Dino Island. And the school campus, if I could remember. What parcel number this is? Come on. Show up on popular parcels so I don't have to go look you up. Heck, you're popular enough. Let's try to roll that again. See slightly different parcels every time you open this menu. So I'm just re-rolling until I see the Hogwarts-looking castle show up. There it is! 925. 925. 925. 925. And the image it'll show will be 925's image. And it's not going to say 3D store. It's going to say school campus. I got to change what the other one said to. This one's just going to say Dino Island. 3D store is correct. Nightclub is correct. Okay, I think we're good. Every single one of these is set. How about my movie theater? No, my movie theater isn't set. Okay. Now, these worlds, all of these worlds, except for Cityscape, the showroom, the auditorium, the island world, and the photogrammetry world, they're all pretty well optimized. Pretty well. Cityscape, not so much. Now, the worlds that I have linked to here are they're pretty heavy. They're not optimized too much, except for that one's the island world. Okay, I was just thinking, I got a whole bunch of different tabs open, of me on different parcels, and I want that. So I need to double think about not having the open and new tab button on all these things. Because sometimes you will want to open in a new one. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back there. Oh, I don't know. It's so much nicer if I don't have that in there. You know what? I'm not going to have that in there. I'm not going to have that in there. If you want to get back here, you'll have to just look at the popular parcels menu. And if you can't find this on there and you want this to be on there, you'll just have to hang out in it so much that it becomes one of the popular parcels. Okay, everything should be ready to go right now, I think. Let's refresh. And then I'll publish this and see how it looks. So I'm walking around, we're good. Oh, not quite. These things, I forgot to give them. Let's start over here on this one because I didn't instance them. I forgot to give them rigid bodies, so I actually run into them. There we go. That's more like it. Let's do that to the other ones. Okay. Dinosaur looks freaking cool. All right. Now they're not those things aren't clickable now, but they should be after I get in world. Do I want anything else in this world? I think that I want a web tab. I want a web tab so I can hang out here and watch stuff, because otherwise I'm not going to hang out in here too much. I kind of want to put a sleep core web tab right there. Sleep core, huh? Here's a 34-minute sleep core. Yep, we're rolling with that sleep core. Also, we want to get a cool thumbnail to go with it. Oops. Core. Okay. That'll be the URL. Alright. Let's get a web tab in here. I think I removed the template web tab, but that's okay. I can get the template again from in here. Just gonna drop this right there. This doesn't have the model attached to it, does it? Then what's the point? Oh wait, oh that's the wrong template. Oops. Web browser object. 2 does not have the model attached to it. I could copy it from the template project, which I probably should. But instead, I'll just rebuild it, kind of. Okay, what is 16 by 9? 1.77777777. Okay, there we go. Now I could stand here. Is that crooked? Yes. Now it's not. Now I can stand here and watch Sleep Core while I'm chilling. I can dig it. Now, in order to interact with that thing, it needs to be on this side of the collider. Ah, isn't that unfortunate? Indeed. Indeed, it is unfortunate. That means I might have to export another thing from here that has the collider different on this wall for me to interact with that thing. That would be annoying. It would be annoying, but I think that I gotta. I know what to do. You know what to do. Yeah, I know what to do. Well, there you go. And then, there you go. Hopefully that works and doesn't break everything. We'll see. If I multi-select everything correctly, there should be no catastrophic consequences if I export the selected back out and then re-import in. Like so. Come on, no catastrophic consequences. And if it works, I won't even be able to tell that anything changed until I reload. And even then, I'm not going to be able to tell that anything changed. And actually, the only way I would be able to tell is not by reloading, but by doing something else. So I'm walking towards the edge here. I still can't fall off. Okay, but can I click on that? How would I be able to tell? This is how. And no. It didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. Okay, let's try it again. File, export, teleportation station. All right. Maybe I need to reload this thing, actually. Actually. Holton! How's Somnium doing with all this pullback? And I know you're talking about the crypto winter that we are in. And I am impressed with how well Somnium is handling the whole crypto winter thing here. It's like you barely even, as a player, as a Somnium user, you barely even notice that it's crypto winter right now. And it's kind of because Somnium has always been about the whole functionality thing and actually being in the world using stuff. Functional NFTs is always what they were talking about. So while the value of things is in a slump as far as the market goes, no doubt, the functionality of Somnium and the builder community around it and the updates going into Somnium, they have not slowed down. If anything, they've sped up. And there's a saying that I've heard around lately. It's called build through the winter or something like that. And yeah, that is really the case at Somnium. So, let's rotate this 5 more degrees and then I think we're good. And we'll try publishing this. Maybe 10 degrees. Yeah. We'll rotate it a good 10 degrees here. Now I should be able to watch 30 minutes of Sleep Core. Did I set the URL on this? I probably didn't. I probably didn't set any information on this at all. It's a good thing that I thought that through this. The URL is like this. The resolution is auto, which means it will be low because it's a YouTube video. Do I want to automatically play? Wow. I do. But should I? And if I'm automatically playing, maybe I want to play like background music. No. I think I am going to do autoplay. I am going to do autoplay. Even though I'm really self-conscious about autoplay. It's going to lag people's computer if they're on, or their device if they're on a crappy device. But I'm not targeting crappy devices here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have crazy scrolling textures with 4 different material layers and glass on top of that. So I'm going to splurge a little bit here. People on low-end devices are not going to appreciate that. And I am going to autoplay Sleepcore. I can't help myself. Sleepcore's autoplaying. The UI text is Sleepcore. We'll just call it retrofuturism. And the thumbnail is one that I prepared. Hang on. It's a Unix system. I know this. There it was. Sleepcore.jpg. It better be 512. If it's not 512, I wasn't preparing appropriately. I could tell it's 512 because it's only 35 whatever's there. Gigabytes. Gigawatts. Okay, this thing, we don't want a go button. We don't even want to open a new tab button. All we want is the view and world button. Yeah. And for this thing, we're going to put the Sleepcore image on it too. Sleepcore. I should probably put a Somnium symbol somewhere. Everybody's going to know they're in Somnium, and plus it's going to be on the screen. So the Somnium symbol, the UI has got it covered for people that are actually in here. And when I take a screenshot, I'll brand it with the URL. Okay, geez, we're going to come down to the wire here. I'm an hour and 50 minutes into it. So let's start publishing this thing out there. How optimized are we? We got to do one little test here. One test. Just to know. We're going to do a clear cache and hard refresh. And we're going to take a hard look at all of our assets that are transferring here. We're going to sort them by size. What is our biggest asset? The play canvas engine itself is the biggest asset that we've used. Win. That's a win. When it's minified, I don't know if that's still going to be true. However, so to 12.3 megabytes were transferred. That's not a lot. It decompressed after gzip to 23.8 megabytes. That's good. The whole site loaded in 3.26 seconds. That's unbelievable. That can't be true. It must only be accounting for the initial load. No. According to the times here, that could be true. So what's the biggest actual asset? The player.glb is 2.2 megabytes. That ain't good. That ain't good at all. Make a note of that. Other than that, the PNGs for the normal maps. Okay, this is, I'm not getting file size down much better than this. So that looks good. I wanted to see how well we did, and we did freaking good. Real good. All right, so let's publish this thing. Publish this thing. Here are the steps for doing that. Manage scenes. Publish. Download zip. Check a couple boxes. Optimize scene format specifically. It's a habit for me to click select all. It's meaningless when there's only one scene. Okay, I'm gonna click download. I'm gonna download this thing. Oh, drat. I already had a copy of it sitting in my own folder because I already had deployed this thing. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna delete the old version. I'm just doing local stuff here. So now it's like I just downloaded the thing. I need to upload this thing. So first I gotta extract it, and I extracted it to this folder here. Next, this is hosted on GitHub. Now you could host it on any web server. I host these on GitHub to show how it's free and how you don't even need to know an FTP program or anything about web hosting to do it. So the previous VOD, which I need to go back and cut a VOD up because I did this whole process in like 5 minutes, or less than that actually, like 2 minutes, so it could be cut as a VOD. Not so today when I'm rambling on going through the process. But now I'm over here and I'm ready to upload some files on this repo that already exists from last time. So I'm going to click Upload Files and Upload Files. And down here for the comment, I'll say RC1, Release Candidate 1. Upload 79 files there. Okay. The 79th file is there. Now I'm going to click Commit Changes. Processing. Okay, now I have to wait for a couple things. We set up GitHub pages to go along with this GitHub repo last time. That means that any files that I upload to this repo get hosted as if on a website. However, GitHub is not instantaneous with this. To see the state of your GitHub Pages deployment, you have to go to the GitHub Pages page, like I just clicked on, and we see that the active one is from 2 days ago. That's not right. I could do absolutely nothing and this would sort itself out. But instead of doing nothing, I'm going to be proactive and sit here and click the refresh button over and over again. Getting stuff done. We already see that now it's queued. It's queued as of 11 seconds ago, the new update. But it's not doing anything with it yet. There must be a lot of people publishing updates. There we go. Now it's in progress. Let's keep working hard here. Click and refresh. Making their servers work hard. Now it's now it's active. How is there 2 of active? That must be a fluke. Yeah, I refresh again and we're switched over. Cool. Now when I click View Deployment, it's going to load it up exactly as if I was just testing from Play Canvas. So that means I can't click on anything still. Nothing's interactive still. I'm just run around and look how pretty it is. Cool. And I'm a little dummy guy running around. All right. But now on the actual parcel, I don't have to do anything at all. Let me go to it. I'm not at it anywhere. Let's go to it over here. What was it? 1761. I might need to refresh my browser because I was at this parcel in this browser and I haven't closed this browser since then. And the browser, I hope, would aggressively cache things. But it didn't. It knew that there was an update. And without even clicking refresh, I'm on the current version of the parcel. Let me show what I mean. This is live. This is live on the parcel right now. Okay, my clickable links here didn't work. I need to take another look at those and probably redeploy. And I have some time. I got 5 minutes to try to troubleshoot those. But everything else is working. I can interact with this thing just like I want it to be able to. Let's do a victory dance here before we test one more thing. No, don't victory laugh, victory dance. Yeah. Okay, let's test a couple more things. When I go into photo mode, text. Okay, and I turn on post-processing. The text is no longer visible when it shouldn't be. Isn't that wonderful? There's the back of a sleep core screen there. That's a little annoying. But the text is no longer a problem when I'm trying to get some screenshots like this kind of stuff. The rocks are looking beautiful. The rocket ship fire is looking unchanged. And I may have to record a cool fly-through video like this. I wanted to make this thing clickable though, and I need to do that. So let's go over here and try to troubleshoot that some. We had clickable objects here. They had the web browser on it, and they had a collision and a rigid body on them, but they weren't clickable. Why not? I successfully made clickable objects in a different web world. Which web world was this? It may have been the storefront web world. In fact, I could test it out here. Oh wait, I can't test it out here because the portals don't work yet. Drat. Okay, troubleshooting why my invisible links didn't work for me. I've made some clickable objects that worked and some that didn't. I'm trying to figure out what the difference is between the ones that I made that worked and the ones that I made that didn't right now. So this thing, it has a collision that's a sphere, and it's static, and it's all good. What if the collision's not a sphere? The collision wasn't a sphere in the other one, and maybe that is the difference? Maybe I need a sphere collider? Also, this thing is top level, it's not a child of anything. Okay, this is a box collider, and it's also static. Okay, let's see if that does anything for us. We're gonna make these spheres 1. Now, before I go all out with that, let me go over here and see if, just to make sure that my taxi cab is not clickable. Yeah, my taxi cab is not clickable. So maybe this is it. Maybe this will do it. I'm using spheres instead. We shall see. All right. That should be the last one. Let's redeploy this thing. Just like before, I already had this downloaded. So let's delete the old version that I had downloaded. Okay. And then we're going to download a new zip. Like that. And we're going to go through this deployment process one more time. I'm 5 minutes over. It's okay. Just bear with me here. I wanted to do more stuff too. I wanted to show flying through. Okay, so that's the stream for today. I'm going to finish this up off stream. Thanks everybody for watching. I will be tweeting out the URL once I get these links fixed. I'll be making a little video and tweeting it out so everybody can check it out then. But if you're adventurous, you can check it out right now. It's on that parcel 1761. Signing off in a hurry because I went over time, everybody. I'll see y'all on Friday. I don't know what yet, but we'll see. Later on.